Welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Jessie Raspiller, founder of Ventura Pop-Up Yoga and Venture Well Yoga. And when I say welcome back to Wellness Wednesday, I mean way back. It's been a couple of years since we released any blogs. We used to have a weekly ritual of sharing some blogs of different holistic practices with you and recipes and all the things. And then somewhere along the way, life got twisty-turny and time and energy sort of dwindled in the ability to funnel information to you guys through our blog. A few months ago, I really started thinking about how can we engage with you guys in some unique ways. You know, if we're lucky, we get a couple of weeks on a mat practice with you at Ventura Pop-Up Yoga. And there's only so much that we can fit into that time and space. And while the practice, the movement practice, the asana practice of yoga is a beautiful, potent tool, it's certainly changed my life over a couple of decades. To me, it's really only the entry point of a yoga practice. And so there's so much rich philosophy that we can begin to share together, open up and unpack and have discussions on. But for myself, I have also been in a deep mentorship, and there's so many different protocols, woven in and around the yoga philosophy as well that I've been studying that I'd love to bring to you guys also. And so taking this from a one-dimensional sort of blog written out series doesn't always connect with everybody, especially in this digital age that we're in. And so I feel like a video, while we've all been behind screens so much this last year, a video still feels much more relevant because we really can engage with the auditory, the kinesthetic, and the visual styles of learning that are available to us. And also along the way, there might be different things that I want to actually show you and not just in a flat screen image. So here we are. We're relaunching Wellness Wednesday. And again, I was sitting here thinking about where do we begin? There's so many things that I'd love to share with you guys. But for me, as I thought about it, I always think about when I have a moment and there's really that platform to share something that has been really important and life-changing for me in my own practices. It comes down to this one particular tool. If I could share this with every single being on the planet, I just feel like there would be this overall enrichment and deeper sense of personal fulfillment for each of the individuals that could and may find this practice to be something they'd like to adopt. And so just like any practice, we come to it as a practice. The first time that we come to a warrior two, it feels very awkward in the body. We have no memory in ourselves, our cellular level of what this is supposed to feel like. And eventually over time we sort of settle in and create that muscle memory around that. And so again, this practice, this breathing technique in itself is also a practice. And so while we're on this video, I'll actually share and invite you to take a moment to try this in your own space, or you can always pause and come back if you don't have a few moments to try this out. But this particular technique is called the permissions breath, again, passed on to me from my teacher. And I get to have the privilege of sharing this with you. And then I hope as you sort of breathe, and if you find this to be a tool that is a beautiful practice for you, that eventually that you can also share this on to others as well. And so maybe through the act, we can eventually reach every human being out there. So the permissions breath is a beautiful way for me to create this deeper sense of trust within myself, around the decisions that I make, how I discern the information that's coming in. We know that there's so much information coming in right now. Oftentimes our nervous systems are a wreck trying to figure out what is true, what is right, what is the best way for me to move forward. And there's so many moments where we each find ourselves frozen. And over the last year, especially, this particular breathing technique has really allowed me to create that deeper sense of trust within myself that keeps me from finding and just getting stuck in sort of the monkey mind of, is this right, is that right? And so, without having to digest and sort of practice this on all the different tough things that are going on out there, let's just really start with something simple, something that we all know that is true to us, and that is our individualized names. Even though we may share a name with thousands, millions of people out there, it is true to us that it's our name that we respond to and are called by. And so the easiest way for me to share this breath and this practice with you is, again, to create this sense of something that is true to you. And so for me, I'll share with you how I sort of tune to this, and then have a moment for you to kind of invite and engage with this. So what I like to do is create that true affirmation. So in this moment, I'm going to say, my name is, and then I will breathe with it and have a moment to observe how that breath feels in my body. And so you can even take a moment just to kind of observe me as the student in this moment of how you're seeing my breath move in my body. And so I will say, my name is Jessie. Taking just an inhalation, a little bit more intentional with that breath than the ones that I've been having while I'm speaking and sharing with you. So just taking a moment for you in your own space, saying your name, so my name is, and then taking that breath and seeing how it feels in your body. And then we'll do a little contrast. Beautiful. Okay, so just kind of hold on to how that felt in your breath. And then I was trying to think, usually I'm with a group of individuals, I know everybody's name, and making sure that we know something that's not true to anybody in this space. I don't know who all is going to get the opportunity to watch this video, and so we're just going to bring Fiddle Leaf Phil into this. We'll just call him Fiddle Leaf. And I want you to create an affirmation of my name is Fiddle Leaf. And then you'll take a breath with that and see how that feels. So for me, for example, my name is Fiddle Leaf. And I had my observation, if you had a chance to kind of see my breath and compare and contrast. And then taking a moment for yourself, saying my name is Fiddle Leaf, taking a breath with it, noticing any difference from when you made a statement that is true to you. Okay, and so some of us, when we first come to this practice, there doesn't seem to be a lot of difference between the breath. Many of us, when we turn to this permission breath and we tune to something that is true to us, and then we tune into something that is not true to us at all, we can really notice the difference in those breaths. So again, if you want to watch me and if you want to tune in again one more time, my name is Jessie. Really for me, I'm feeling, and again, this is your observation, I'm feeling a really full-bodied breath. Again, something that's true to me. I can breathe with it, which is a good statement to always recognize within ourselves. Can I breathe with it? I can breathe with my name being Jessie. My name is Fiddle Leaf. You can see me trying to breathe there, but there's no opening because it's not something that's true to me. This might seem like, well, that's just a fluke. That just happened, right? The first time I had this, I'm like, no. When we really start to think about it, and we think about the moments in our life where our breath gets taken away, somebody comes around the corner, they scare us. Whew, that is a moment that is like not true to us at all, right? Like they take our breath away. Perfect example last night in our yoga practice, we were going into some deep holds and asking my students, can you breathe with that? And I can see a lot of them at times kind of struggling with their breath in that moment that they give themselves permission to find a more true to them posture. It just changes, and then that breath can flow more freely. And so there's so many beautiful ways to play with this. But one of my favorite ways that I kind of played with this in quarantine was every week I go to the farmer's market. And, say I'm trying to find that perfectly ripe avocado that I can go home and make some guacamole with. And I can't touch them, a year and a half ago, we couldn't, touch and feel the produce of what's best for me at that moment, what's true to me that I want to take home this ripe avocado. And so I would play with, and I would tune this to yes or no. So typically, and it's, what is true to you, again, is not necessarily true to me. So when we can tune our breath and we can say, show me my yes breath. So show me yes. Again, I get that full bodied breath. Someday, if my anxiety is a little bit more intense, that breath is a lot more shallow. So I can always say, show me my yes today. And then I can say, show me my no. And again, it's just that very shallow breath. It's not me stopping my breath. It's just I can't breathe with the no. It's not true to me. No is not of my nature. And so when I go to the farmer's market and I'm looking at this plethora of avocados, it's like, which avocado is true to me to go home and make guacamole with? Not a life or death situation, but a really easy way to start to tune into that trust. Because then I go, okay, nope, not that one. Not that one. Ooh, that one, I can breathe with that one, right? And then I pick it up and it's like perfectly right, but it's like, oh man, I built that trust in myself and, in something that's true to me, that's external, right? And how often we run into these things that are asking us to make decisions around external things that are just coming at us. And so we can begin to tune this breath just like a muscle, working it over and over again, building that trust within ourselves to really make the decisions that are going to line us up on this path of our highest and deepest sense of truth. And so this is a beautiful way to create some discernment in yourself and into your world, really creating a foundation for you to move forward and to not question the decisions that you're making, or not having to phone a friend, for all those life-changing decisions once you've really built up that trust. And so I hope this can become a beautiful practice for you. I would love to hear any feedback. I'm also here as a resource too. If you really want to just take a couple minutes, jump on a quick Zoom call, we can do that, and I can help assist you kind of tune into that. I love sharing this with people, so I'd be happy to just take a few minutes of my day to share that with you. And if you have any feedback or any real world examples of how you go out and use this, tag me on Instagram, or you can email me, message us in the Wix app. There's about 900 different ways that you can get a hold of me. I'll put a few into the YouTube video for how you can reach out. But in the meantime, I hope this becomes a beautiful practice of trust within your world, and that you can begin to share this with permission out to others, right? Because again, what's true to you might not be true to others. And so a beautiful invitation to kind of pass the torch and continuously create a beautiful ripple out into the world and empower other individuals. And so, as we know, life is a beautiful journey, and I hope you all are venturing well.